3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Ash on Comics. Hopefully this will be a quick video. These X books are getting... I'm running out of things to talk about, but really. So this is essentially the Apocalypse Who Cares, and it's Excalibur, written by Teenie Howard. It's the book everyone seems to hate. I don't think it's actually as bad as everyone's making it out to be. I actually was kind of impressed it didn't suck worse. And I'm saying of the whole series, not this particular issue. I don't think that the book is it's just incredibly mediocre, and it's incredibly something I don't care about. So we start off with the Otherworld now. The new nation of Krakoa offers a promise of peace to mutant kind, but the peace has been hard to come by. Apocalypse has declared his intentions to harness mutant magic. Interruption, that's not a thing. But not everyone is convinced, especially since his experimentation seemed to put Rogue into a mysterious floral coma. And War, another world, called Brian Braddock into battle against the sorceress Morgan Le Fay. But when she possessed Brian, he used the last of his strength to bestow upon Betsy the mantle of Captain Britain. Now, to get Brian back, Captain Britain, Gambit, and Jubilee have entered Otherworld, where anything can happen. So for the first time in I don't know how many issues, we get the beginning that doesn't say, mutants are fleeing to the island of Krakoa, blah, 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 blah. It's the same. Finally, thank you, Teenie Howard, for writing something new. Thank you. This is Excalibur number 3, and we start off, and it's Rictor in his apartment. He's watching some kids play outside, and there's the news chatter we can hear in the background. Lobbyists want stricter regulations, claiming that the gates are inappropriate near schools and churches due to reports of some mutants shedding their clothes before stepping into the gates. They can do whatever they want once they get to Krakoa, but in America, we keep our clothes on in public. And he opens the sliding door. You hear the kids outside. I'm open. Pass it to me. Rictor steps on the ground and it causes an earthquake. And he's like, ah, oh no. And he's holding his head. I can't even put my feet on the expletive ground. Again, with the progressives and their need to always insert cursing because that makes things cooler all the time. And comics aren't actually for kids. They're for underdeveloped adults. And cursing, I guess, makes them feel more grown up. I don't know. We're seeing some of that now, continues the news feed, and now we see the picture of the naked people running to the Krakoa gates and the protesters. So silly. Look at the mutants, and look, they strip out. And then Rictor just chants to the screen, go, dude, go. Come on, some of us can't. We're going to learn that what he's saying is he can't go to Krakoa, but he's rooting for the mutants who can. Then we get a psychic called Rictor, go away. Rictor, Julio, or Julio, I guess. I'm Julio. I don't know why I said that. Rictor, Julio, we're family here. It's happening again. Let's get out of here. Rumble, rumble. The kids, please come home, Rictor. I can't. Quit hassling me. I just need to go. I just need to go away. So Rictor's lying, and I don't know what the hell he's lying in, to be honest. I don't know. I can't tell. And then we get mutantsunmuted.com. It's like the mutant Reddit, I'm guessing. And we get the silly, look at this, looking for dog sitter for 1 week for Krakoa trip. Has anyone been and can confirm if phones charge TIA? Tampons on the island? Serious question about childcare. 28 male, looking for another pee for my pod. Oh, God, this is just excruciating. And then at the end, we get what we can presume is Rictor saying, hey, throwaway account here. I don't know who else to ask because any problems controlling powers, blah, blah, blah. And someone, reaches out. Hey, this is vague, wants to help. But he's like, oh, no, and he backs off and whatever. It's really overwrought use to explain the simple concept that Rictor's having trouble. He's depressed. He can't control his powers, and he's having a pity party. That's it. So we go back to Camelot. Morgan Le Fay can't get rid of the magic vines that somehow grew in her pool. And so she contacts her little henchman, cultist, coven girl. And they talk about apocalypse and their plans and da-da-da-da. And then, oh my God, a dragon flies by. What, in all of Avalon? And then we go back to our heroes. This is going to give me a panic attack, says Jubilee. You okay, Shogo? You sure you don't feel stuck like that? I still don't get it. He's just a dragon. And we're in Otherworld instead of a boy. Oh, God, I can't even read this. So I just did a review, which I haven't posted at the time of this recording. It's probably up by the time you're hearing it, of Marauders. And in that, I kind of complained about how Jerry Dugan was trying to write the Marauders. It felt like someone who just watched Game of Thrones and was like, oh, I'm going to copy this. I had no idea what I was getting into when I made that comment. And I'm reading this book now, and I'm like, oh, look, it's more Game of Thrones nonsense. So just like I suspect on the last issue, little baby Shogo is the dragon. And we see Remy here. He's just a baby, Jubes. I can't do the accent. Fairies love a baby. All that magic and pure imagination in him. It seems Remy is right. You gotta say it like that. Womp, womp, womp. Yes, Remy. Because in progressive modern feminist comics, men are either always doofuses or they're raging, toxic, masculine monsters. Okay? One of the two. So since you're one of the heroes, we don't want to page you as a toxic male monster full of rage. So you get to be the doofus, the sitcom doofus. The women are always calm, cool, and collected. And here we see Betsy having some thoughts about the baby being the dragon, da-da-da. And it says, oh, hey, there is fairies, blah, 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 blah. And then we get this cutesy scene here. Look, oh, this is as a boy, I just loved seeing things like so cute like this when I was reading comics. Did you see the castle on your flight, Angel? Tell Miss Purple you found her silly old brother in there. Ooh. Oh. So good. He saw Camelot, and I can see it through him. Morgan's Tower and everything. Is Brian there? I can't see for sure, but... And then Remy starts the borderline, get raging toxic male here. I'm going to point something out to you both. You're worried about your brother, but he was walking when we last saw him. Jubes, your baby's better than walking. He's flying. Remy. But we left my girl sealed up in a box. She ain't moved for days as far as I know. She's... And then gets interrupted by the woman who knows better. Rogue's a mutant, Gambit. That makes her safe in a way Brian and Shogo are not. Because remember, kids, in the world, mutants are superior. They are better than humans in every single way. Mutants are just inferior. They never have danger. It's terrible. All right. I had to break the video up there. So we continue on, and this is where we get to where I talked about. Remember I was talking about Game of Thrones earlier? Shogo, baby, you can put us down if you need. If you see a ballista, steer far away. Please explain to him what a ballista is. He's okay, Jubilee. He's having fun, I promise. Get it? Remember? Because spoiler alert, in Game of Thrones, they're flying the dragon, and then the ballista shot the dragon out of the sky. It's get it? Because Teenie Howard's like, I watched Game of Thrones too. Look, look. He's just dropping us off, okay? No getting hurt, Shogo. Good, Shogo. Hug mommy. He won't get hurt. As soon as I'm in the view of the castle, nothing can keep me from Brian. And it's like, really? So then they ask her, like, I thought you couldn't read Brian's mind because you're twins. Yeah, but I can read theirs. And so we see Brian, he's been turned into some Black Knight thing. He's been turned against his sister. And so they're going to go attack and try to free Brian. And, you know, she's like, nothing can keep me from my sister. And the men say, stay stalwart, men. Your father slew dragons, and you shall too. Like hell you will. That's my son, says Jubilee. God, just the very concept of Jubilee having a son is... It's almost like Marvel forgot who Marvel was and their characters. Jubilee is supposed to be a young teenage girl. She's supposed to be an analog to Robin. She's not supposed to be a mother. There's nothing wrong with mothers. I think mothers are the greatest things in the world, right? I think motherhood is the greatest job in the world, and mothers, good mothers, are among the greatest things in the world. But that doesn't mean that everything needs to be a mother. And that doesn't mean if something's not a mother, then you're saying that it's bad or anything like that. Sometimes a character's role is to serve the voice and the eyes of a teenage girl. That's what Jubilee was for. Now she's single mom. Anyways, Gambit says, an in-and-out extraction style. They're a witch breed. Stay away from their magic. Blobbity blobbity. The battle's boring, but regardless, Superior Captain Britain here gets in over her head, and they start getting their asses kicked, and they're like, we're getting overwhelmed, which feels absurd as we have a dragon on our side. I don't want him getting hurt. Jubilee, he can breathe fire. He's covered in scales. They cannot hurt him. We're going to die out here. No, you're only going to die because you're an incompetent leader, and you should have never gone into battle. By the way, let's all remember back in the days when XMen mattered, Marvel Comics mattered, Psylocke's not a fighter. That's why she wore armor all those times. You say, no, I saw Psylocke, she's a ninja badass. No. That's the Quanon character that they retconned and wanted to change because God forbids cultural appropriation. Oh, and all the SJWs started losing their shit. So they had to revert and make Psylocke back to her old school British Betsy Braddock days, where she was a frail flower who was powerful with psychic powers, but she couldn't fight. And she had the armor. And it was cool. It was an interesting thing. I've talked about this in the past. But now all of a sudden you're trying to make her be this warrior. It doesn't fit. It doesn't connect. It's stupid. That's what her brother's there for. That's what he's... And what's sad is that the writer is writing themselves into corners because they don't understand, and I'm going to write her as awesome. And yet you're writing her as an idiot, accidentally. Okay, Jubilee responds, I trust you. Call him down and we'll get out of here. You trust her? She just told you we're going to be fine, everything's going to be great, led you into battle, and you're about to die. And you're like, well, you know, you led me to my imminent death a moment ago, but I still trust you that you won't actually make the same mistake with my baby. It's so stupid. And so she gets all Thundercats here because I guess maybe the artist saw Thundercats once. Shogo, we need you, darling. And then she gets cold clocked by some random soldier. For Morgan Le Fay. Oh. And then, whoo, the dragon shows up. Here it comes, load the siege weapons. And I so bad wanted to see the dragon die. Go before they hurt him. We won't let them near him. How can you stop them? He's saving you. You can't be like, we'll save the dragon. You're about to die. If it weren't for him, you're not in a position to say, we won't let them near. That's stupid. But the writer doesn't understand what they're writing. And you're going to say, Ash, you wanted to see a baby get killed? And I don't mean that quite literally. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just wanted to see the characters like, oh, you really are, you got my baby killed, you're an idiot. Because that's how I feel about these characters. And I just feel like their stupid actions should have consequences, and they don't. They get to just be morons and incompetent at what they do, and then still get away. And they're about to escape, and it's, "Hail, Defender. Keep hold tight, men. He's a beast." And we see Brian Braddock. Now, remember what I said before? Remember, you are either if you're a guy in these modern progressive comics, you are either a buffoon, a doofus, or you are a rage monster. So that's what Brian's been turned into. And she's got to fight her brother, who would kick her ass 10 ways from Sunday. "That's not you in there. Please talk to me. For Camelot, slay pretender. Brian, please." And they're fighting, and apparently she's holding her own when the soldier got the best of him. She tries to talk, and then the dragon comes out of the sky, and it's like, "Yeah, I remember this cool scene from Game of Thrones, and let's have that happen." Yeah, I know I'm harping on this, but I can't help but see it. It's so obvious. Like, so the dragon comes, and Gambit's calling her Captain. And I don't get this. Like, she literally, like, it's only been moments that she's said that she's now Captain Britain. They should be calling her Betsy or Psylocke. Someone changes their identity on a moment's notice. You don't instantly just start referring. Like, I just don't buy the characters. I guess that's a minor quibble, but to me it's just weird that they're just all embracing her as Captain Britain. Especially since the premise is that she's just sort of stepping in. Like, Brian Braddock gave her the power because he was being captured and he wanted her to flee. And now everyone's sort of pushing on her. No, you're the real captain. So this idea, when she took the power, it was like, okay, I'll just do it temporarily because we're going to get you back. But everyone else is like, no, you're the real captain. Even the villain, we see here, from one reluctant warrior queen to another. So she says, sorry, I skipped ahead. That's you now, which is Captain Britain. There's nothing left in him to save Elizabeth. Take up your mantle from one reluctant warrior queen to another. Long way may we reign. And that's sort of the end of the book. So we get this white page that's stupid about MI13, and they're talking about their surveillance of otherworld assets, including Brian Braddock, Elizabeth Braddock, Jamie Braddock, Megan Braddock, Morgan Le Fay, Catherine Pride, and one interesting one here is Rachel Summers. So I guess Rachel Summers has a place on Excalibur because she's one of the original Excalibur members. The problem is you brought back original Psylocke, Betsy Braddock. Rachel and Psylocke are both the same. They fill the same role. The reason Psylocke was even put into X-Men is because Rachel Summers was removed. But now in modern comics, you can't remove characters, and so there's this overabundance of duplicate, essentially, characters. It's the same problem that the Bat family has. It's like just too many Robins because Robins can't go away. You kill them, but they just come back. Now you just got a whole nest of Robins. Frank Miller likes to make fun of it. I think it's funny. It's the same thing here. Now you've got all. It used to be you had, you needed your X team. You had your psychic. You had Jean Grey. She died. She came back as Phoenix, and then she died again. Gone. You had the whole the saga of, oh God, what was her name? The Jean Grey clone. I'm drawing a blank. I can't believe it. This always happens when I get on the spot, but you guys know what I'm talking about. And so Rachel comes into the story, and you get basically the same character type, not same character type, fits the role, fills that void, and also she's the daughter of Jean Grey, and you have all these things, and I liked her better than Jean Grey personally. I think Jean Grey should have stayed dead. And then they had to get rid of her, and they got rid of her in a really cool way. She went back in the future. She's the one that raised Cable. Yada, yada, yada. None of that seems to matter in the modern comics. however, and now she's going to be put on it. So when she had to go away, well, we don't have any psychic characters anymore. What are we going to do? So they came up with Elizabeth Braddock and put her, and they did some really cool stuff with her. One of the reasons I love the whole Asian assassin Psylocke version is because they came up with a creative way that no longer are you just the resident telepath girl. She felt something new and unique that was different than Rachel and Jean. Anyways, now they've undone that and they've made her normal, just telepath girl. And now you're gonna put Rachel. I'm so far in the weeds. I'm sorry. Anyways, back at the lighthouse, we see Apocalypse, who's doing his mutant magic, and these stone things he's talking about, they don't work. So he's like, I need someone who's a master of stone. And he leaves and he goes through a gateway in the middle of Central Park. And, oh, wow, is that? Shh, don't stare. Apocalypse walking. Get your stuff, we're leaving. Do you have a phone? Take a picture. Do you want to do passing? So you see the kids that we're familiar with. And then Apocalypse shows up, rips off the box that Rictor's living in. And he's like, Apocalypse! I've come to take you home. Krakoa? No, I can't. Everyone, I can't go there. I'm staying here. I'll break it in half if I go. My power's out of control. La 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 la. And then Apocalypse, in this completely uncharacteristic, empathetic, type of personality. The ground outside and anywhere else is yours to command. For miles beneath the soil, you are mutant. It is your gift. You are afraid. Fear not. Fear is not something we contend with anymore. This monster, this depression that sits on your soul has no quarter in the high places in our new world, our Krakoa. Come, there is nothing you can break that I cannot fix. And then they go through the gate. Where is this? It is all Krakoa, but this is geographically is Cornwall, England. England? I thought we were going to the island. And then they under the breath. I hate this modern trope, under breath speak. Like, I heard there was a party. And then someone from behind, off camera, you're not Captain Britain. Yeah, he's a little paler. You looking for him? Her, actually. And that dialogue didn't make sense. So who's looking for him? Oh, her, actually. I get it. They're looking for... See, I keep thinking Captain Britain is a guy. But because they mistook him for Captain Britain, like he's a guy. Oh, but it's Betsy Braddock. We're looking for her, actually. Oh, God. It took me like 3 passes to finally get it. And I'm Pete Wisdom. What a convenient name. Agent of MI-13, Division Black Air, British Secret Intelligence. The Queen needs her, Captain. And the end. Coming soon. Tons more books for you to buy. Where a bunch of Silly Billy stuff happens. Maybe we'll get more Game of Thrones references. I don't know. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I don't have a whole lot to say that I haven't just said. I think issue 3 is going to be the last of the X books that I cover, at least individually. I might just go to a situation where I just sum up my thoughts of the whole thing. It's just too many books to cover, and I don't want my channel to be the Dawn of X channel. Ash on Dawn of X. This isn't like America Chavez offensive material. It's just dumb. Like, God, these are X books, man. Up your game, Marvel. This is $3. I don't care about Silly Billy fanfic references. I saw Game of Thrones too. Isn't it funny? Oh, we're all geeks together. I'm definitely not a fake geek girl writing comics. So that's all I gotta say. I'm just ranting and just venting. Thanks for hearing me vent. Next is New Mutants number 3. New Mutants number 2, by the way, did a review of that book. I don't know why people seem to be liking that book. If you haven't watched that video of all these books, that is the most offensive. That one is the worst. New Mutants is terrible. X-Force is okay. It's the one I want to like the most. It's the most like XMen should be. So I'm giving it the biggest try. Even though XMen, the book, has the brand name, it's not really like an X-Men book. And then Fallen Angels is the book that I thought I was going to hate the most. But Brian Hill is doing some spectacular character development. He's making lemons out of lemonade. Sorry, he's making lemonade out of lemons. That's how that metaphor goes. Sorry. You know what I was saying. Thanks for making it this far. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.